Good morning, and yes, I-55 is the nightmare heading towards Tennessee this morning. In fact, all of our area roads are snow-covered, slick, especially as freezing rain and more snow starts to move in. Again, a low pressure continues to deepen along the southeast Texas coastline. We already have droves of Arctic air in place, so all we needed was the precipitation, and here it comes. The heavy stuff now into Texas and Louisiana, and it's going to get worse throughout the day. Right now, we're seeing a little bit of a lull in the action. In fact, I even saw a little bit of sunshine a little bit ago, but I promise you that is just giving us a false sense of hope because the worst is yet to come throughout the day. And temperatures are in the mid-20s from Shreveport along I-20 into Greenville and Greenwood. A little bit colder off to the north, and consequently, there's actually been some snow in these areas. Tunica, Pine Bluff, Monticello seeing some snow, while most of us to the south are seeing more of a freezing rain sleet mix. So as you can see, a little bit of break in the action, but here it comes. The heaviest stuff now moving in from the west and somewhere into southern Arkansas. I wouldn't be surprised if they got over 12 inches of snow. It's going to be very heavy at times, but here in the Delta, we'll see more of a rain, sleet, freezing rain kind of mix. I shouldn't say rain, freezing rain and sleet more than anything with our northern communities from about McGee to Cleveland, Charleston, northwestbound. You can see several inches of snow where the upper air profile is going to be just a little bit colder. Now we're starting to see some of that precip moving into the southern Delta, so we'll see how this plays out because that sleet snow line, as well as the freezing rain sleet snow line, I should say, is going to set up somewhere around Highway 82, probably just to the north. So those to the south going to see a lot of freezing rain and sleet, and it's just going to be a nightmarish day across the Delta for travel. If you don't have to travel, don't, because the roadways are very slick. I've went out there earlier and they've just gotten worse since yesterday, especially with that thin layer of freezing rain here in Greenville and some heavier snow possible in northwestern Mississippi, but winter storm warnings in effect until 6 o'clock tomorrow. So again, this is going to be a widespread thing as we go through the rest of the day. There could be some snow in places like Greenville and Greenwood, Winona, maybe Grenada at times, but for the most part, it's overwhelmingly probably going to be sleet and freezing rain. Again, it's always hard to pick up exactly where that line's going to set up because you have a scenario where somewhere just 10 miles to the north could get 4 or 5 inches of snow, while to the south you're just dealing with freezing rain and not a lot of snow accumulation. And that's how this system's going to be, a very tricky system for sure, but most of the area definitely going to see winter weather with higher snow totals into northwestern Mississippi. This should start to wrap up later tonight. We'll have some freezing drizzle / flurries during the overnight hours, and then tomorrow morning and afternoon we'll have one more round of light wintry precip before this starts to really exit the region. But if skies are able to clear tomorrow night going into Friday morning, we will likely drop to near 10 degrees, maybe some single digits, but it's going to be very contingent on that clearing. So as we take a look at what to expect, a trace to 1.5 inches of snow possible along really a line from Grenada to Greenville southeastbound with up to 3/4 inch of ice, and that's just a lot of ice. It's going to really weigh down those power lines, cause a lot of tree damage. A little further to the north, you start to get in more of that snow, pretty thin band of snow of 1 to 3 inches from Cleveland to Clarksdale into Charleston. Now places into northern Coahoma, Quitman, Panola counties could see upwards of 3 to 7 inches of snow, and somewhere out just south of Little Rock could be a major bullseye, again, with over 12 inches of snow. So again, as for us, I think most of us are probably going to see significant amounts of ice, especially like from Greenville, Cleveland, Grenada, southbound into the South Delta, lesser amounts further to the north. But where you have those lesser ice amounts, there's going to be higher snow amounts. Clarksdale, Tunica, Oxford could see, upwards of 6-7 inches of snow. And like I said, here's that bullseye potentially. El Dorado, a foot, 7.5 in Hot Springs, 7.7 in Little Rock, and only about 1 inch along Highway 82. But again, as you go further northwest and further west, higher snowfall amounts. So again, it'll be interesting to see how this all plays out. But for your power outages, currently over 45,000 customers in Louisiana without power, 18,000 in Mississippi, and Arkansas is starting to see those power outages go up. So again, significant icing possible in places, significant snow in others. Wintry mix likely throughout the day, highs staying below freezing. Tonight, mid-20s, sleet and freezing rain tapering off. Just some drizzle overnight, and by tomorrow another round of wintry mix. Not going to amount to much, but this should do it for our wintry weather. Hopefully for the rest of the winter, we start to warm up heading into the weekend. Sunshine returns Friday and Saturday, and then we'll start to be much warmer heading into next week.